If you've ever struggled with imposter syndrome, the problem may be something even more simpler than you think. So, over the years of working with high performance individual and as a mental health practitioner, there is a constant theme that I get when I speak to either clients, mental health client, or just coaching clients. And it's about I feel either stuck or I feel, and it's always a feeling. And so, the purpose of me explaining this today is to help you to understand that knowledge will help to override a feeling that you have. If you don't have the knowledge or the specific knowledge, then you will rely on feeling. It's almost as if when something doesn't work, feeling is a fallback. And this happens with a lot of high performance individual, wherein that they may lock the knowledge to do something, but then the fallback becomes feeling. Oh, I feel like, for example, they may say something like, I feel like I have the intentions to do something, but I don't really follow up. So, what is the solution to that? The solution to that is simply this: you lack the knowledge of how you learn, you lack the knowledge of transferability. There is a saying that says, what got you here won't keep you here. What got you there won't keep you here. And it makes sense because a lot of high performance individuals run into imposter syndrome where they feel as if, man, I'm a go-getter, I'm a high performance individual. I have done all of these work and I've done all of these things, I've made all of these breakthroughs in my companies to get us here. But I have to help you to understand the skills that got you here won't get you there. And so you need to think about transferability. Transferability simply means that if you use a particular skill to get into the door, that skill doesn't become absolute. It doesn't become the skill that solves every problem. And it does not become obsolete either. It doesn't mean it just go away or it doesn't work anymore. What needs to happen is having a growth mindset, meaning that the skill that got me into the door, I need to now reflect. I need to now rethink. I need to now retool and figure out, can this tool be used to solve another problem? That is the power of transferability. A lot of high performance get into a particular rut where they'll get into a door or they get an opportunity and then they believe that this particular opportunity doesn't have a shelf life. After a while, it's going to expire. It's going to expire. That's why they call opportunities. They're not always there. And so the goal of this message today is to help high performers individual who feel stuck in a rut, who feel like they're standing behind this imposter. Imposter mean impose. Something is imposing. Something is in front of me, standing in front of me. And the real person, well, if they ever found out who it was, well, they may not like me or they may not follow me or they may not support me. They may not praise me. They not give me the accolades that they once gave me. So I want to help you to understand that when we talk about this transferability simply mean what is the tool that you've used to get you where you are now and how can you use that tool to pivot, to transfer that knowledge, to transfer that skill set, and use it to solve another problem. Here is an example. Uh, I want you to think of a person who used the terminology intention. And a person said, I have the right intention. I know what I want to do. I'll say it, but I don't know what happened after I say it. It seems like nothing really happened. And I want to give you a new word or phraseology that you can use to reframe your thinking. I want you to think of saying, do first then declare after. Do first, then declare. Do first, then declare simply mean shh, don't talk, stop speaking, stop saying, stop declaring. If you know there is a particular action to be done and you have the knowledge and the wherewithal and the ability to solve this problem, just go ahead and solve it. Do first, then declare. And what you say after you are finished doing makes the most difference. I didn't say makes a difference, it makes the most difference. Here is what I mean. Let's say, for example, you see you want to get up, let's say at 5 o'clock, or you want to start a new workout plan. Don't say, I want to start a new workout plan. Don't say, I'm going to start a new workout plan. You have the knowledge, you have the plan for the workout, just start. And when you start, then you say, done. Don't say I'm going to, because people who say that I'm going to never get it done. And I want to help you now understand how intentionality can lead to procrastination. I mean, I have the intention to do something. Many of us have, this, good-heartedness to say, I'm going to do something. I'm gonna. But whenever you hear the word or feel the word, I'm gonna, stop for a minute. I'm gonna what? No, go back and check to see if you have the knowledge. The knowledge means I have the wherewithal. I understand what needs to be done. I have the task in mind and I have it written down. Once you know what to do, just do it. And when you are finished, say done. So that's how you solve that problem. Instead of saying I'm gonna, no, do first, then declare after. The next thing that people talk about is value. There's this thing going around now where a lot of people are saying, yeah, know your worth and your value and so forth. I want to help you understand. I want to break this down and make it so simple that anyone can understand it. And that's one of the things that we do on this channel here. If you're not a subscriber, if you're not a tribe, I want to encourage you to subscribe. I want to encourage you to lock in each week, because each week we are breaking down specific mindset of individuals who are high performers, to give them a panoramic view, to give them a new set of skills or thinking skills that are transferable, that they can use where they live, where they work, and even where they play. We said I work upstairs, and the purpose of this I work upstairs is to help you to understand that a good 95% of the work that you're going to be doing is a mental work. The physical part is just a follow through. So when you subscribe, here's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help you to get the right thinking so you can think right upstairs and everything else will follow through. Okay, that's our belief. All videos on this channel are for educational purposes, to help you to get to where you want to be by transforming your thinking into the person who is going to be the recipient of the result that you experience. Okay, so let's get back to this. An individual may say, what is my worth? Well, let's reframe that. Don't ask what your worth is. Ask yourself, what problem can I solve? Is there a problem that I can solve? And then you ask the person who have the problem and say to them, well, how much is it worth? How much is it to solve that problem? How much would you pay to solve that problem? Once you ask that question, you're not thinking more about your worth, because worth has nothing to do with you. The worth has to do with the individual who has the problem and how much is it worth for them to have that problem solved. So you're asking yourself the wrong question. And then we're going to label this section here, ask the right question. So first of all, don't ask what is your worth. Ask, is there a problem that I know how to solve? Is there a problem that I have the knowledge to solve? And once I figure out what problem I can solve, I need to ask myself, who has that problem? And once I found out who has that problem, then my next step is to ask that person, how much is it worth to have that problem solved? So the purpose of that is to help you to understand now you're asking yourself the wrong question. What's my worth? It's not the right question to ask. The right question to ask is, who has a problem that I have a knowledge to solve. And then once I find that individual, I ask that person, how much is it worth for you to have that problem solved? Okay, so your worth is in the problem, and your worthiness is your ability to solve that problem at whatever price point the individual who has the problem willing to pay. Does that make sense? All right, let's jump into the next one. The next one is value. They're asking themselves, what's my value? I want to give you a new word in your vocabulary today. It's called valuability. Can I say that again? Valuability. When you think of value, value is not, in a thing. Value is really an exchange. Let me say that again. Value is not in a thing, value is in the exchange. So when I say valuability, every value has an ability to create a change or to solve a problem. So if you say you have value and your value doesn't come with an ability to solve a problem for somebody, then it's not value, it's your perception. So most people will be thrown off guard by using perception or feeling or what they think of themselves and using that as a value. Not so. Your value is an exchange. The value that you perceive in going back again, in solving a problem, that's when that value has a worth. So when I said valuability, value has an ability to solve a problem. Does that make sense? When you know or have the knowledge to solve the problem, or the more knowledge you have and expertise to solve a particular problem, then you become valuable. Valuable is an enablement of an individual who has an expertise and is fully aware of that expertise and the ability of that expertise to be utilized to solve a problem. Does that make sense? All right. So today I really just kind of wanted to, kind of really zoom in on the problems that most of the high performance individuals are facing. And there's some that are coming up in other episodes, but I really wanted to hone in on this too today and to help you to understand that when you think of value, when you think of worth, you're really thinking about it's a other thing. It's not a you thing. Value and worth is not a you thing, it's a other. It's their thing. And when you have the solution to fix their problem, then your value and your worth is now actualized. And every week we're going to be dropping videos to help you in your thinking, where you work upstairs, and just to help you to become the person that you were designed to become. If you are experiencing anxiety, depression, or just simply need to have a conversation about some of the thoughts, the random thoughts or intrusive thoughts that are operating inside your brain space, please look us up at www.IWorkUpstairs.com. Until then, take care of yourself, and remember, upstairs is the most important piece of real estate you will ever live in.